Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. Today I'm bringing you into the kitchen to make a vintage recipe. This is for creamy onion soup. The main ingredients are of course onions and then some bacon for some added flavor. Now the recipe calls for about 4 slices of bacon, but I have a little bit of extra here, so I'm just going to go ahead and cook this all up. I'm cutting my bacon into 1-inch pieces. We'll get the heat going under the soup pot here. And I'm just going to add in the pieces to the pot. Now I cook a beef bacon, which is my favorite one to use. I get it from Azure Standard. But you could also use turkey bacon. We don't eat pork around here. If you do use turkey bacon, you want to go ahead and add in butter to the pot as well. And now for the onions. We're just going to go ahead and dice these up. You would need about 3 cups of diced onions. I've got 3 medium-sized onions here, and I'm just going to go ahead and use them all up. One of the great things about soups is you don't really have to measure too accurately. So if you have a little more, that's perfectly fine. So now I'm using my slotted spoon, and I'm going to go ahead and scoop out all of the cooked bacon into a dish. And I'm going to leave the drippings in the pan. Now beef and turkey bacon tend to be a little more lean than your typical pork bacon, so there's often not very many drippings left. But you've still got that flavor coating the pan. We're going to add in 3 tablespoons of butter. Let that start melting. And then in with the onions. Y'all, there's so much flavor in this soup. Now we're just going to let these diced onions cook together with the butter on a nice medium-low heat until they're beautifully tender and caramelized. Of course, the new little puppy's over there sleeping by the door on the rug. Look at these beautiful onions. And you'll notice that the juices from the onion actually deglaze the pot and pull up all of that flavor. I could just eat these right off the spoon. Now we're going to sprinkle in 1/4 cup or 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And I usually do this about half at a time so the flour doesn't clump up. We're going to stir the flour into the caramelized onions so that they're nicely coated. Now for the milk. This being a cream of onion type of soup, of course it's going to be milk and cream. Now you want 4 cups total, and you could make it all just milk, but I'm going to use 3 cups of whole milk, fresh from the farm. And then I'm going to use 1 cup of half and half. Of course, you could use just milk instead of the half and half. This was a popular recipe around World War II, where everyone was being very frugal, very guarded with their ingredients, and making things stretch. We're going to add in some salt and pepper, about a half a teaspoon of each, more or less according to your taste. And now we're just going to cook and stir this together until it's come to a gentle boil and thickened. There you go. Now I like to make this a nice smooth soup, so I use my immersion blender to puree the onions, but you don't have to do this step if you don't want to. And now we're just going to serve up this beautiful silky soup. Top it with some of the bacon. And a little minced parsley. And there you go. Incredibly rich and flavorful onion soup. Now this soup, served with some crusty bread, makes a nice, simple meal. You could also use it as a side dish to make another dinner stretch a little further. You can get this recipe on my website, cosmopolitancornbread.com, where you can get a free printable version of it, or you could save it to Pinterest. Y'all, the flavor that comes from the caramelized onions is slightly sweet, and it tastes so decadent, yet it was so simple. Thanks for joining me here again at the homestead. God bless, and I'll talk to y'all next time.